Alan in Denmark, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alexander the Great. How are you doing?
Good, my friend. What's on your mind?
I have 2 points to talk to you about. One is border protection in Denmark. Here, a week ago, we have a lot of problems from Brussels. We are not allowed to have this border protection. We're basically not allowed to protect our borders. So we had a lot of problem with immigrants from Eastern Europe coming here and stealing copper and doing criminal stuff, you know?
Yes, I've seen the reports. That's what's really shaking the euro up, is that Eastern Europe is completely in a depression. Europe is in a deep, deep recession. And then I have seen the reports that a lot of countries are wanting to put up their borders again, but the euro is saying, no, you joined us, you're not allowed to, and so there's huge crime sprees. Yeah,
so our politicians are basically speaking about getting out of the Lisbon Treaty.
Yes, and right as Europe, as countries start moving to get out of the Lisbon Treaty, which created the euro, what do you think of Merkel and Sarkozy announcing they're going to expand a financial euro, whether you like it or not, and literally destroy your sovereignty?
It's already happening, Alex. I'm sad to say, but it is. So,
by the way, folks, that's not my opinion. I've got 3 mainstream headlines saying the same thing. Here's the Daily Mail. Paris and Berlin launch a coup to control Eurozone, demanding right to dictate economic policy over the countries. So the end of sovereignty. Where Napoleon and Hitler failed to dominate Europe, they're succeeding through financial stealth.
Yes, it's very sad, but what can you do as a single person?
Well, are folks starting to wake up?
Yes, the young people are, but not the old people. The old people are still in the old media stuff, you know. They don't listen to your kind of stuff, you know. So.
Well, it's up to you, Alan, in Denmark, to spread the word. God bless and good to hear from you. Let's go ahead now and take another call. Let's talk to John in Wyoming. John, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. I've got a couple of quick things to bring up. What you were talking about, how the media is ignoring Ron Paul, is true, but it's not new. Go back to 1972 when George Wallace was trying to get nominated by the Democratic Party for the presidency. He won the Florida primary overwhelmingly. And that night, the NBC Nightly News had a special that was hosted by their left-wing bobblehead, Frank McGee. And he spent the first 28 minutes of the 30-minute program telling you how well the number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 candidates did. And at the very end of the program, they said, oh, and by the way, George Wallace won the primary.
No.
So, yeah, that's the way they operate. Now, another thing, let me urge all of your listeners to either call up Fox News at 1-888-369-4762 and leave them a nasty message, or email them a nasty message every time that CFR bobblehead Charles Krauthammer gets on Brett Baer's program and keeps repeating that CFR slogan, oh, Ron Paul can't win, Ron Paul can't win, when he knows otherwise, and ask them, demand that they be fair and balanced, that whatever happened to their policy of being fair and balanced, and that I left them a message stating that since when is it the province of Charles Krauthammer to dictate how Americans are going to vote? Why don't you let the American people decide the issue? We don't need Charles Krauthammer to tell us who can win and who can't win, because Krauthammer is just a stooge for the CFR. You can look him up. He is a member of the CFR, and he is one of their talking bobbleheads trying to convince people that Ron Paul doesn't have a chance, when in fact he does have a chance if people will only show a little courage and vote for the man and don't worry about the talking bobbleheads from the CFR.
Well, again, and in the case of the establishment being scared of George Wallace, who was certainly no Ron Paul, the individual that shot him, if you look at that whole story, it's the classic staged, drugged up, lunatic who'd been in government hands, and then the staging of the diary years later being found of the supposed shooter. I don't think they're going to shoot Ron Paul, even if he starts winning, because they realize that would only turn him into an even bigger martyr. But we all need to be praying for Ron Paul, because I've never seen a system so scared of him. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I never have, Alex, but I think they will try to do something to either humiliate him as they tried to do with Rand Paul, or they will try to arrange for a convenient little accident.
Well, they already had Barat try to jump on him sexually, and luckily Ron Paul threw him off of him and got out of there. They'll probably say he's kidnapped women, like they said Rand, or he worships Buddha. No kidding. And they're going to throw the sink at him. We'll be right back with more calls. We are back live. I'm going straight back to your calls here in a moment, and then to some of the international financial news, domestic police state, ATF false flag terror news, EU news, crime news. It is all coming up today. We're also going to be tracking what's happening in the stock market as well. But before I go back to your calls, please don't forget this radio broadcast is listener-supported. And when you support our local sponsors, when you support our national sponsors, when you buy videos, books, T-shirts, ball caps at Infowars.com, you not only get tools to educate yourself to a higher level and then pass it on to friends, you also support this broadcast. And I want to thank all of you for your support over the years. We couldn't do any of this without you, and this show wouldn't have been a platform to help promote so many who are fighting and tyranny and getting the message of liberty out. So again, I want to encourage everybody to visit the secure online video bookstore / Patriot Apparel store at Infowars.com, especially the ball caps, the new camouflage ball cap that's got the snake and it says Infowars.com, Liberty or Death. That is a bestseller. The best-selling T-shirt is the Liberty or Death snake shirt, red on black. People love it. And it has Infowars.com on the back, and you wear that out in public. You wear that to a Tea Party event. You wear that to church. You wear that to work. You wear that to the restaurant. You wear that to the mall. You wear that out to the cornfields where you're working. You wear that to the factory. You're going to meet the like-minded people in your area, and you're going to be shocked by how many people are awake. So you'll get a shirt that'll wake up those that aren't informed, that will help you reach out to those that are informed, to meet them and to come together. Wear your colors loud and proud. Again, it's all available at Infowars.com. Also starting September 1st, that's coming up in a couple Thursdays, less than 2 weeks away. Every weeknight, 7 o'clock Central, 30-minute news transmission, focused, condensed, power-packed news and information of the day, interviews, you name it. You've seen these special reports, some of which are 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours long. We're also going to continue to have those every week, some days, 5 days a week, and sometimes the news will end, and we will announce special report, and then a special report will continue with more in-depth coverage with the InfoWars Nightly News, that for the next few months is going to have its own page on prisonplanet.tv. We're going to keep that system as well, but expand out with a whole new news site on a new platform. So if you're a prisonplanet.tv member, you'll automatically then become a member of the news site as well. So again, your support of prisonplanet.tv is absolutely integral to the work that we're doing here. We also, of course, simulcast the live radio show 3 hours a day with the multi-camera shoot, a whole nother dimension of documentation and information. We have a higher quality audio podcast, commercial free, that's posted every day at prisonplanet.tv. All my films, expanded extras, many other great documentary films that we've been authorized to post. prisonplanet.tv, an armory of resistance going back now more than 8 years. Yes, it's tomorrow's network 8 years ago. It's tomorrow's network now. And we're building it into something that much stronger and more effective because we are the tip of the spear. And it's our responsibility. Believe me, sometimes when I'm exhausted and I'm tired and I'm sick of reading the news and sick of the globalist, I realize, hey, Alex, you're reaching millions and millions of new people every week, not just your millions of regular great listeners that are the core of getting the word out. You've got a responsibility in history to stand up against these tyrants. Don't wish later that you hadn't put out your maximum effort. So I'm asking you for your maximum effort to get our videos, make copies, air them on Access TV, Obama Deception, Fall of the Republic, Endgame, Invisible Empire, Terror Storm, Truth Rising, Give them to people. Make copies. It's having a giant effect. I get reports every couple days about, hey, this station in Tennessee broadcast mainline TV, just aired your film. Hey, this big station in L.A. just aired the Obama deception. Hey, this station in Tyler, Texas just is cutting up your live show every day and airing clips of it. Good. Don't ask permission to paint Infowars.com on your barn. Don't ask permission if you want to take part of the show and put it on local TV. Just do it. This is a war for liberty, a war against tyrants. Liberty is rising. All right, enough said. Keep getting call after call here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Okay, let's go to the calls here. Who's been holding the longest? So that would be Austin in Florida. Austin, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for calling.
Hey, listen, I just wanted to tell you about a couple of signs I've seen here in Central Florida that reveal how the police state, really continues to expand in our communities. First off, I saw a Lynx bus the other day. That's our public transit system. And the bus had a giant TSA advertisement on the side of it with, a big smiling female TSA agent, and had lettering down the side of it that read something to the effect of, TSA protecting your freedoms. And it's just showing how they're like...
Oh, my God. Let me stop you right there. Okay, I know they've got in 9,000 locations giant telescreens going in, and they've already gone in many areas right out of 1984, saying don't trust anyone but government, everybody's a terrorist. I mean, they're really getting ready for total martial law. And now they're running PSAs on TV about, the Tea Partiers are terrorists, the white people are terrorists. That report is up on Infowars.com, a new chapter in that. But you're telling me the buses now, because they've announced they're going to be on the streets everywhere. Can you imagine? Well, I'm not going to fly because you want to grab my wife's breast or stick your hands down my pants. Oh, you're not going to fly, Jesse Ventura? Well, we're going to be on the streets. And I've got newscast out of Florida a year ago where it shows children being frisked at the bus station. So you're telling me you have to look at this smirking evil where they just ram down our throat the total end of the Fourth Amendment, the end of the 10th Amendment, way outside their bounds. You're telling me it's now on a bus?
Oh, yeah, man. It's complete tyranny. And, I looked online and I just did a Google search of Lynx bus and TSA, and it comes up, the TSA website comes up, and back in 2007, Lynx got, of course, a $1 million federal grant to, quote, train its drivers and other staff on how to spot terrorists and other bad guys.
And by the way, now they're putting cameras on all these buses, and what do you see in the news? I saw it last week. Mother arrested for spanking child. And so the kid's out of control. You spank them. It's not even illegal. Boom. Homeland Security. Boom. Federal cameras watching you. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, they're already flipping the whole police state apparatus from, quote, the Muslim terrorist, and that was all fake as well, to now the American people in general. I'm going to search that right now because I want to get that to Watson. That is absolutely huge, huge news. So they're called Lynx buses in Florida? How do you, like yeah. Lynx, like a cat?
Yeah, LYNX.
Oh, my gosh, it's school transportation security awareness in public schools. There's Homeland Security. Is that the page you found, or did we find something else on Homeland Security website?
No, I actually found that on the TSA website.
No, I know. I'm on the TSA Homeland Security subsite. And it shows kids in a yellow school bus. I'm saying, was this a transit bus you saw?
Oh, yeah, it was just a regular old transit bus that drives around the university area. I'm a student at UCF.
Again, where is the federal jurisdiction with your local school buses and local transit authorities? They are putting out PSAs showing TSA in the mall. In the mall, at football games. They are now showing up at public schools. A federal judge ruled that you're allowed to stick your hands down somebody's pants if the TSA trains you. So if the TSA waves a magic wand, no more Fifth Amendment. Now people are getting yearly and monthly visits from the census outside of the census year. I mean, it is just a total power grab. Could this be any creepier? Let me ask you this question. What do you think now of the complete rollout that it's the evil anti-Fed, Ron Paul, returning veteran conservatives, that we're the new terrorist, and Obama's saying it, Biden's saying it? I mean, how creepy is this complete rollout?
Oh, yeah, it's totally creepy, and you could see it coming all along, And I wanted to ask you one more thing. Have you heard of the Kicks for Guns program?
I know all over they've got programs to buy back guns, which the police admit creates the image of people lined up turning in guns ahead of real gun confiscation.